Hey everybody, we are two metalheads.
Two metalheads.
And it's now November.
And it's 70-something fucking degrees outside.
Yeah, and for New York, that is not normal.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But, shit happens.
It's going to be sub-zero in fucking February.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the hardcore band.
Yeah, it's going to suck. Not like the hardcore band, they were good. So, today, I came up with kind of an interesting idea, I think.
A very interesting idea.
And feel free to comment in the section below, your choices for this. But I said, what if we...
Below us.
Yeah. Feel free to blow us. No. Feel free to comment down there. What if... I play guitar, James plays guitar and bass. What if we had an option to pick our own band using strictly famous people, no locals, but keep in mind that you got to work with this person.
In other words, a band you would recruit.
Yes.
Not a band that you would just say, all right, guys, get in the studio and write.
Yeah, you're going to be playing in this band.
Right.
Yeah. So keep in mind that you have to work with this person, all these people. So there are some people that you probably heard 1,000 stories about.
Mm-hmm.
That just keep in mind that you're going to have to work with them. Can you put up with Axl being 2 hours late to a gig and then deciding he doesn't want to play? Even though I don't know if he does that anymore. But, everybody's heard those stories. So,
This is a very cool twist on this because I've had this conversation many a times with many a metalhead, and it was always, who would you put together in a room and say, go ahead and write an album?
Yeah.
It was never, who would you recruit
in your band
as band members for you to write an album with?
Yeah. That's kind of a hard thing,
I'm going to let you go first because I still got to think a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't really thought much about it either, but I think as a guitar player, and this is a tough one. I've seen a lot of interviews with Chris Broderick, who seems like a really nice guy.
Killer guitar player.
Seems like he's killer. Doesn't seem like he would try to hog everything either.
He's obviously cool with sharing leads. He did it in Megadeth.
Yeah, seems cool with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have Gus G.
Ooh.
Who also seems really cool.
Yeah.
But I play guitar, so I can only really pick one. And I gotta go with Chris Broderick because he early on, when he was in Jag Panzer, he was kind of one of the guys that I was like, holy crap, I want to play like that.
Okay.
With the 8-finger tapping and
right.
all that crazy stuff that he can do. And he's very tasteful. And so is Gus G, but...
Right. I would say also, too, that Chris Broderick's playing is maybe a little more aggressive.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Gus G and Firewind was kind of close to my style, I guess, but...
It's similar, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you would fit a little better with Chris Broderick,
I think I would, too.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have some different influences, but I think overall, I think we could write a pretty kick-ass thing together.
Totally.
So, all right, so...
Good choice.
Yeah. I think that was good. And that was an obvious one for me. Most of you don't know me, but... well, some of you might. So next would be the bass player. And this is where shit gets kind of complicated for me, because there's a million bass players to pick. And that's tough,
Steve DiGiorgio.
Yeah.
He's killer.
I think
Steve Harris.
I think I would go with Steve Harris, just because no matter how fast I go, I think he would have no problem.
He can obviously,
and he can write, obviously too.
He can write. He can keep up with the speed. But
he's killer showman.
Why I would worry about working with him on writing music, I'd be afraid that he would fucking step all over everything and be like, no, that doesn't sound right. It's got to go like this.
But I haven't heard a whole lot of stories about him with that kind of stuff.
Well, are the other guys in Maiden going to really complain about...
But that's the thing, too. They've been together for a very long time.
Yeah.
So it's not like one of those guys that have a revolving door. He obviously isn't impossible to work with.
But I kind of think of Iron Maiden as his band. Because if you look through the lyric books and everything in the CDs, every song says Harris in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, it might be a different situation. You know, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Can he work with people that?
It's definitely a great choice. Yeah. Like, you can't dispute that that's a fucking amazing choice.
Really, you know, like, there's probably other guys I could go with too, but
right.
Obviously, he's reliable, you know,
yeah.
and he can play.
Yeah, definitely.
And he obviously can write.
Yep.
You know, so it's, you know. Now, drummer. This is one of the hardest ones. Because there's so many good drummers.
There really
and
is.
I could pick a million of them, and any of them would be fine. You know, Thomas Lang. Awesome. Marco Minimum.
Awesome.
Would be amazing.
Mike Mangini,
yeah. Now you could, you know, there's so many of them. Yeah. I think I would probably. I mean, you could go like Dave Lombardo. You know, there's a million people. But I think
Bostaff, Gene Hoglan.
I actually think I would probably go with Gene Hoglan.
Gene Hoglan.
I've seen so many interviews with him. He seems like a really nice guy.
He is very nice.
Yeah, he's done so many projects. Everybody wants him to play drums for them.
Yep.
So he's obviously easy to work with, and he's a beast. You know, like
totally.
You can't really go wrong with him in metal. You know, who knows? I haven't really heard him do anything else. Maybe he has. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like besides metal?
Oh, other than that, I haven't heard it. But
I wouldn't doubt that he could though.
Oh, I'm sure. He could probably play anything you throw at him.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I would probably go with Gene Hoglan. He's awesome.
So we got a kick-ass band so far. It's you, Chris Broderick, Steve Harris, and Gene Hoglan.
All of them American except for Steve Harris so far.
Yeah.
Now the singer. This is hard too. It depends on what kind of band you want. I personally. I wouldn't.
You're gonna want clean singer.
Yeah, I don't really want a death metal vocalist.
You want clean singer.
Especially not with the people I mean, Joe Hoglan would be fine. Steve Harris, I can't imagine Steve Harris playing in a death metal band. So,
no.
You know, although Alex Webster would have been an awesome substitute.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, that's true. I didn't even think of him.
Yeah, but
because he also has what's that? The Blotted Science.
Blotted Science, but he also did the thing with Jeff Loomis.
Conquering Dystopia, or no, that's the
Conquering Dystopia. I think. Yeah,
is it Conquering Dystopia? I thought that was the Iced Earth album.
That is the Iced Earth album, I think. Hang on.
Or the Iced Earth album is just called Dystopia, I think.
Maybe.
And then the band is Conquering Dystopia.
I think it is. I'm trying to open now. My fucking phone doesn't want to work. But
unless I'm totally wrong, and then you could just kick me in the balls one by one.
I think it is Conquering Dystopia, though. But,
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you got that. He's not just limited to death metal. He could do other stuff too.
Yeah, it is Conquering Dystopia.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No kicks in the balls.
Yeah.
Yay.
Like obviously, an awesome guitar player would have been like Steve Vai or something. But I mean, he's obviously doesn't want to work with people anymore.
Yeah.
He kind of has his own thing going on.
Right.
And you know, if I was gonna play 80s metal, he would be an awesome guy. But who's gonna want to do? Why would I need to do solos if I got Steve Vai?
Right.
Not that I really need to with Chris Broderick, but I think it would be cool to play off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Vai, I'm just gonna be like, why even bother? You know, like
very true.
I can't, you know, trading on and off with him and be like, this is like a legend.
Yeah.
You know, like why would I wouldn't, you know. So, but all right. So for singers, this is shit gets really complicated here.
You got King Diamond.
Yeah,
you've got Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
You've got Halford, who doesn't hit the highs that he used to hit, but he can still hit some highs.
Yeah.
Still is a great singer. Still has a great voice.
I want to come up with like somebody that I could say is like, oh, this is really original. And
how about Michael Starr?
Yeah.
What a fucking good singer that dude is.
That's true. And Satchel would be a fun guy at guitar.
Right?
We're talking about Steel Panther for anybody that doesn't know. But
dude, Michael Starr has a great fucking voice, man. And he's still young too. He's got a lot of energy.
I think the problem...
It's a good choice.
I think King Diamond would be an awesome choice, but the problem with picking King Diamond is anything you do with King Diamond is going to sound like
a King Diamond, band,
or Merciful Fate.
Yep.
Like, there's really no way of getting around it. He has his own... And it's a good thing. He has his own sound.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
And anything you put him in, people are going to go, oh, it sounds kind of like King Diamond.
Yep.
So, for that reason, I think I would probably opt not to pick him.
Warrell Dane. No?
I don't know. If you have any ideas, maybe let's fucking watch. Maybe you could go first with some of your stuff while I still try to think on this.
You want to still think on singers?
Yeah.
Maybe we could, when I get down to singers, we could go.
Yeah, go together because
okay.
I'm not.
Well, what I would do is I would play bass.
Yeah. Okay.
I would play bass because I want to go with a 3-guitar attack. I'm gonna pull the Iron Maiden / Leonard Skinner card and go with a 3-guitar attack. Right away, my first guitar player I'm picking is Zakk Wylde.
I get that.
And because...
But because he's sober now, right?
No, not even just because he's sober now. I'd actually rather it be when he was drinking so we could party all the time. But I would pick Zakk Wylde because, A, I love his style. He can write. He can sing. And I've already jammed with him, and I know he's fucking great to jam with.
Yeah. I really haven't heard stories about him being hard to work with or anything.
Yeah. I've never heard that, like, oh, it was impossible to work with him, so, you know, whatever, we can't do it no more.
Your idea for a band is probably different than mine, too. You probably rather that southern...
I would like a little more, that's the thing why I'm picking Zakk, too. I'd like to go a little more southern rock in some spots. Next guitar player I'm going to pick is probably going to be Kirk Windstein.
That's a good choice.
Because he's a solid rhythm player.
Yeah.
And he's also a great lyric writer. You know, I've always found, being a Crowbar fan for as long as I have, that Kirk Windstein is a very fucking underrated lyric writer. That dude writes a lot of fucking lines that have really, like, gotten me teary-eyed throughout the years. So I would go with Kirk Windstein.
I would pick as a vocalist.
Also, another dude...
He can do good backups, too.
That's the thing. Another dude who has a fucking great voice who could do some background vocals. Third guitar player... I really want a shredder. Because, you know, I've got my solid rhythm foundation. I've also got a dude who's solid with rhythm and leads.
Yeah, it's Zakk Wylde.
So I think I would probably have to take... I mean, if he was alive, I would say Chuck Schuldiner.
That would be an awesome choice, yeah.
If he was alive, I'm going with Chuck.
There's so many people you could pick from that, like Dimebag would have been an awesome choice too, but
yeah. Dimebag, well,
we can't have him.
Yeah, and also too, Dime would have been a little too similar to Zakk.
With the drinking, yeah.
You know, well, with the drinking and also with the style too, would have been like a little closer to Zakk. You know,
I mean, I think that, well, yeah, I guess more later on. Yeah.
I think as far as getting a really good shredder, I'd probably have to go with Jeff Loomis.
Yeah, that's a good choice, actually. I think if Chris Broderick wasn't around, I probably would have picked him.
I think I'm going. So I'm going Zakk Wylde, Kirk Windstein, Jeff Loomis. That's a fucked up bunch. Right there.
That'd be a weird mix, but.
So we got me on bass.
3 guitar players.
3 guitar players.
One of them can sing.
2 of them can sing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Zakk and Kirk Windstein.
You almost don't need a singer now.
I almost don't, but I'm picking one.
I know.
I'm taking one.
I know you will.
Drummer wise.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Drummer wise, holy shit. You know, part of me wants to say Vinnie Paul. Just because he would fit amazingly with Zakk.
He's probably jammed with Zakk.
And Kirk Windstein as well. So part of me wants to say him,
but
part of me wants to go with Chris Adler too.
Yeah, okay.
And then part of me also wants to go with fucking Gene Hoglan.
That seems like the obvious thing.
You know, because of like you said, his personality and because he can fucking do anything.
Yeah, and make it sound awesome.
Right.
And a good drummer can make a shitty band sound good.
Right.
You know.
And not this is a shitty band. I mean, other than the bass player.
But a good band will sound a lot better.
Yeah. And I think maybe with pudding. Maybe with the pudding.
Have Bill Cosby sing.
I would have Bill Cosby on vocals.
Be great backstage with the women.
I think with Jeff Loomis and Gene Hoglan, having them two there would kind of balance out how southerny Zach and Kirk Winstein are going to be.
Yeah, and how sludgy kind of.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty good mix.
Jeff Loomis is definitely a shredder.
Totally. But I could see him, I mean, not that he would be playing down to what Kirk and Zach play, but he could fucking shred all that stuff.
Yeah. And obviously he doesn't have a problem sharing because there's so much footage of Nevermore with him and Chris Broderick going back and forth.
Right.
You know, and even though nobody else was ever on the albums but Jeff Loomis, I don't think.
Who was the other dude before Broderick? Steve Smith or something like that?
I think they had the guy that ended up in Cannibal Corpse too. Pat
O'Brien.
I think he was in Nevermore also.
Yes, that's right.
But nobody else was ever on the albums, I don't think.
Yeah, so he could share. Him and Zach could go back and forth on leads, which would sound fucking incredible. So that's my band now. That's my band.
Okay, now we got singers.
Now we got singers.
And I think I've been kind of looking down a little bit, but it's because I've been looking through some stuff, and I think I got somebody.
Who you got?
Okay, so I had some thoughts going through my head, and I thought maybe Ripper Owens at first. And then I thought, maybe not.
But
I haven't heard any bad stories about him. So, but one of my favorites is Hansi Kirsch. I don't know how to say his name.
Oh, Hansi Kirsch. Ooh,
from
good choice.
And
good choice.
He's just got such a unique, amazing voice.
Yeah.
And you could put him in he's been in other projects, Demons and Wizards, and he sounds great. And so I think that's who I would go with.
Hansi Kirsch, that is a killer choice.
Yeah. I had to look through some of my music and be like, who was good here? And they're all good, but I think he would fit it with my style of playing. And as Chris Broderick has this, he's played in power metal stuff and thrash metal. I think that he would fit in.
Okay.
German guy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I being that half of my band is like southern metal, and the other half is like techie, shreddy, thrashy. I'm going with Rob Halford.
That would be interesting.
Because
I guess the old Priest stuff was slow.
It was slow and Sabbathy. Some of the fight stuff, especially the second album, Small Deadly Space, was really Pantera-ish. So he'd fit doing the slow kind of southern jams, and he'd fit over the fucking fast stuff too.
Yeah.
So
that's a good choice. Can't go wrong with Halford.
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, he doesn't have the highs that he used to, but
I mean,
he still has highs.
Who does?
He still has highs, and when he gets down and does that kind of like southerny kind of shit, he's got like a certain snarl in his voice.
His solo stuff, he had a little bit of a snarl.
Yeah. So I think that's my band.
So let us know who you would pick down below. Maybe some of you agree with us.
Below us.
Maybe some of you have other opinions. So just keep in mind that you have to work with these people.
Right.
So, there are guitar players that I probably would have picked that I've heard so many stories about, and I'm like, I don't know if they're all true, but maybe they'd drive me nuts. So
I mean, trust me, I wanted to go with Tony Iommi, but being that he's so sick right now,
he doesn't want to play anymore.
You know what I mean? We'd never tour.
Yeah. But that's an option too. Maybe you just want to do an album.
Yeah.
All right, so like the video,
subscribe to us,
do all the things,
tell all your friends about our antics and such.
Yeah, and about how horrible people we are. That didn't sound right at all.
Well, we are horrible people.
Well, yeah, tell them about how we're horrible people and we're fun to watch. 2 Metalheads.
2 Metalheads.